the ground, but I ain't getting any higher.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for downloading the Voice of Bedlam podcast. We got a special show planned out for everybody today down here, Mother's Bar and Grill in Easton at the Circle. But Colin, show them what you got. All right, here we go.
Colin's got some BLT right here.
And some of the delicious bar food we got down here. And a nice little BLT with some fries that I'm definitely going to have some of. But John, what's going on with you?
Drinking a little bit and played a couple games of pool before we got started over here. I think my fantasy football team name is going to be kind of funny, and we'll discuss that a little bit later.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say mine on the show. But, what's going on with the Johnson brothers over there? Johnson and Johnson.
I had a plate of wings. I played one of those games of pool with John. And this thing right here, this one's going to be mine because, you can't see it, but I had the best team up there.
All right.
I hope you guys won your game of pool because you won't be winning this.
All right, well, we just did our Bedlam League, and I got to say the draft a little chaotic. It did not turn out quite the way I would have hoped. And
your team sucks.
Yes, my team is absolutely horrible. Had some technical difficulties. Got stuck with some auto draft. I made Antonio Brown. I had the first overall pick on auto draft, not auto draft,
auto pick.
You
queued him up.
You queued him up, yeah.
No, like the draft setting, the list.
Took,
the draft
it
order.
took
That's
him
what I'm looking
because,
for.
Yeah, it took him
I
because
took Brown, and then it gave me the number one pick. I got Brown, and then my team went to auto draft pretty much. And I got like 6 wide receivers. I don't know. Maybe I have a running back if I'm lucky. But let's talk about some good teams.
Let's see. You can see it right
All right, let's see.
Let's take a look at these teams. We got it behind us, as you can see from DraftKit.
In the first round, I got Antonio Brown coming down then into Jordan Nelson, Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte, Jeremy Hill, and Dante Moncrief, Emmanuel Sanders. We got Bortles under center, Rivers under center, Gary Barnage as a tight end, Cincinnati with the D, and we'll just stick with that. So why don't we discuss that? Does anybody think I have a chance if I ever play Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers is actually really been an undervalued quarterback in this year for fantasy-wise. Like, he still puts up numbers every single year. He'll throw a lot of touchdowns. He's got a healthy Keenan Allen. He's got no more tight end battles, so he's going to have Antonio Gates healthy from week 1. Honestly, Phillip Rivers is probably the best value pick there on your squad. You're going to have to find yourself another running back somewhere. But.
All right.
Have fun with Matt Forte as your number 1.
Sean was talking so much trash. I couldn't get my phone into. All right, and I had a setup. Me and John did the bulk of the setup for the show. I was not prepared. Put all my efforts into this great little performance we're putting on, and sacrifice my fantasy team for it.
They were all kind of in vain. It's not good.
Hey, if anybody was making sacrifices, it was me and Colin's teams because we were.
Applause for John and I for putting all the stickers on the board.
Yeah, thank you, DraftKits. Thank you.
Yeah, once
job,
again,
John.
how could we forget to go this long? This whole day presented by DraftKit.com. Now, forget your fantasy draft all ready and on the go. You guys got to hit up DraftKit.com. They hooked us up with this sweet-ass trophy. They gave us the draft board, a bunch of labels for the top 500 player, I believe it is.
Correct.
And they're cool, too. It's got the bye week on them and everything, so you can see right on the board.
They're all color-coded, so you know what position they are and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But you guys can get.
We got a lot of compliments on it. Like the people that were walking by, they were like, "Where did you get that?" And it's like, "Well, DraftKits.com."
Boom.
Go over there now.
All right, but Sean, how do you think you're going to fare this year?
I like my team, but then again, I never really leave a draft saying man, my team is garbage. So
I did this year.
Well,
But I'm still going to win. I ain't giving up. It's a challenge, and I'll take it. I'm going to be king of the waiver wire,
Odell,
too.
I
try.
took OBJ in
You
the
rat bastard.
in the first round, just because. And Andrew came up to me like, I don't know, 20 minutes later, was like, "Yo, I'll give you blah blah." I was like, "For Odell, right?" I was like, "You want him that bad already?" And then I looked at his team. I was like, "You got nobody I want, man."
I mean, I deserve it because, I mean, my team is trash. And, like, no, I'm not going to gravel.
You got-
My
you
team
got
is
Antonio Brown,
awesome
though.
because
You got
everything. Yes,
Antonio
exactly.
Brown.
And watch, I'm just going to make it. I'm going to listen. That's throwing it up to chalk. Antonio Brown, #1 overall pick. I did actually make that one. But we're having some trouble with the stagehands. But we'll have to show you guys. Apparently, DraftKit, they do not sell they actually do sell the stand holder, but I guess ours didn't come in our little perk package. So make sure you guys check out the stand holder.
Yeah, get
for
the
your
stand
boy.
holder. Don't be like
At
us and
DraftKit.com.
taking things up
it's
and down.
fine, really, because no, it's not like anyone can see that board.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
But
I didn't know it was there. It's there.
whose team do you think right now, just off the top, has the worst?
Andrews.
Thanks,
think so?
guys. Yeah, probably. Look, I'm going to say some positive things about my team. Now, like, I got Gary Barnage at the tight end spot, coming
not a
out of
bad move.
Cleveland. Had a nice year,
top-
but,
he's a top
coming off
probably
that injury, and on
10
top of that.
definitely tight end.
Oh, he's more than a top 10. He's a top 5 tight
Think
end,
he's a
if not a
top
top
5?
3. Who would you say the top 3 tight ends are?
He was last year top 3 tight
Yeah,
ends?
exactly.
Oh, Gronk,
Well.
Greg Olson, and then probably
Eifert's out, isn't he?
I like Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed went
yeah,
pretty
Jordan
early.
Reed. He's
He's
top
not too
5.
bad,
He's
yeah.
top 5, though.
Kirk
Wouldn't you agree?
Cousins looks to Jordan Reed,
But
and
the
it's
way-
been the case ever since that Kirk Cousins started taking over for that job. Even 2 years ago, before he was named the starter from the get-go, Jordan Reed established himself as a star tight end 2 years ago when Kirk Cousins made some spot starts for Robert Griffin III.
See, but now, speaking of Robert Griffin III, with him being on Cleveland, I find this good because I'm going to look at him like he's a rookie quarterback almost. Not that he's on my team, he's not, but my tight end is on his team. And I see a quarterback like that going after a big target, easy routes, seam routes, underneath, big target, over the middle, mismatches, and I think he could really excel because RG3 really needs to figure out how to be a quarterback, and usually when that's going on, the tight end is your friend.
Gary Barnage was like top 3 or 4, maybe 5 in targets last year for tight end. So like, what round did you take him in? Because depending on what round you took him in, like
11.
Yeah, that's a really good value pick right there. Speaking of Cleveland, though, like
Yeah, I'll be the
Colin
official
totally
reader over here.
sniped Josh Gordon for me in like round like 12 or something like that. He was just sitting there. I was like, ooh. And I thought I was able to take him and maybe Willie Snead back to back because I had 2 picks within like 6 of each other, and then I Colin snaked him from me, and I had to take just Willie Snead. I don't remember who I took after that.
Now, did you guys see what Terrell Pryor was receiving from Robert Griffin III this past weekend in the preseason game?
that was pretty
No, I
good.
didn't catch
That's
that.
basically, he had a 50-yard touchdown pass. He just burned him down the sideline. So Terrell
quite the
Pryor
guy.
might be a Josh Gordon type receiver in terms of like he's got the speed on the outside. Now I'm a little bit worried about that pick, but Josh Gordon's upside, I believe I grabbed him in the 9th or 10th round.
You're gonna have to wait
That might
till
be
a while to
number
get
one
him.
wide receiver right there.
You're gonna have to wait a while to
Absolutely,
use him.
I agree.
It's true, but it's a 4-game suspension, and hopefully he comes back strong. Last time he missed some time from suspension, he came back, and his first game back, he put up over 100 yards
You
2
also-
years ago. So
you
I'm
also
not giving
got,
up on Josh Gordon.
You got 3 other top tier receivers here with Julian Edelman, T.Y. Hilton, and Julio Jones. So I think the Panthers' defense, though, twice a year is going to give them a little bit of trouble because I see out of their camps and stuff, Zach Sanchez is doing pretty well adjusting, and these young cornerbacks might be able to perform this year.
I did something different that I don't think I've ever done.
what's that?
I didn't take a running back in the first round.
Neither did I, yeah.
Who else? Who
I got
did you
Antonio
guys
Brown.
take in the first round?
There's let's see, you took Odell Beckham Jr.
John, you took.
I took David Johnson.
You can touch the mic and push it to yourself.
Yeah, everybody.
Well, I'm trying to let Colin get in on here too.
Yeah, everybody-
You took David Johnson. I like that pick because if he had fallen, well, you picked second, right?
Second, yeah.
Yeah. So I was debating on whether if he was there, if I was going to take him or someone like Todd Gurley. I didn't want to. I feel like third overall would have been maybe a little high for Todd Gurley. So I was like, well, I'm going to take Odell Beckham Jr. and then just use him
That's a
as
good pick,
trade
though.
bait. Yeah.
That's a good pick, though.
I think with an aging Carson Palmer, David is going to get a lot of touches.
Carson Palmer's my starting quarterback, but Arizona's got that high-powered offense, so I like it.
You can do a lot worse than Carson Palmer throwing
Now, John,
passes on your team.
I see you went with Greg Olson as your tight end.
Oh,
Now, were you able to grab Cam? Where did Cam end up?
Well, here's the thing. I named my team Not My Bathroom, Not My Problem. All right? Now, the reason why is because I'm a Carolina Panther fan, and if anybody's been paying attention to what's going on down there in North Carolina, I think that the motto should just be Not My Bathroom, Not My Problem. So what I did was I made sure I went after as many Carolina Panthers or former Carolina Panthers were, and when I say former, I grabbed Mr. Steve Smith Sr. towards the end, which he was still out there, which I'm
Oh,
surprised.
you got Steve Smith?
Oh, yeah.
And who's your quarterback? Carr, right?
I got Derek
Derek
Carr,
Carr.
and I got Mr. Cam Newton. I got him in the third. Everybody else waited till about the fifth round. Quarterback started going off the table.
Yeah, I got
but,
Bortles in the ninth.
But here's the thing, and I think it's kind of funny because I know that you're not a big fan of mobile quarterbacks, but here goes the top
I'm
five.
not a big fan of running quarterback.
Yeah, running quarterbacks. But here's the top five going off the list. Cam Newton went 1, Aaron Rodgers 2, Russell Wilson 3.
Well, this is fantasy.
Drew Brees 4, and then Carson Palmer 5. So two pretty mobile quarterbacks.
Well, all those guys you named are pretty mobile guys. They really are. They were more towards the runner, but in fantasy that works.
Yeah,
that's fantasy. I'm talking NFL. Talking fantasy, yeah, I'll grab Cam Newton in a heartbeat.
Yeah, maybe at USC Carson Palmer was mobile.
No, but Aaron Rodgers I see is mobile. Drew Brees, he's not a runner, but yeah, you kind of lose it. But Aaron Rodgers moves a lot more.
What's everybody else's quarterback situation looking like?
What do you got, Sean? Why don't you go first?
I mean, I got Carson Palmer, which actually, and it's funny too, is I got Carson Palmer in, I think, the 5th, and then we were talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did you grab him?
I grabbed him in the 14th.
There you go. There you go. That's a good pick,
Did you grab
though.
him the 14th?
Fitzpatrick. I said I was going to take him with the last overall pick.
I was thinking one way. See, I ended up in the 6th round. I took Andrew Luck, and I'm not normally a drafting a quarterback early per se kind of guy, but the way I saw it, Andrew Luck, obviously a really down year. His stock value has really never been as low.
Definitely expect him to have a bounce back this year.
Yeah,
I would think we all really expect the Colts to, maybe not, that defense
I
is
expect
always
at least
questionable.
Luck
to
himself.
bounce back a little bit. He's got those weapons. Frank Gore had an okay year last year. He's still moving the ball. He's not a star anymore. But
you only have one quarterback, dude.
What's that?
You only have one quarterback.
I only took, but there's a lot of quarterbacks that went undrafted that I could still add to it. I could drop somebody. There's Kirk Cousins went undrafted. Tony Romo went undrafted. Both of those guys have been top 12 quarterbacks in their careers. Obviously, Kirk Cousins last year.
Tony Romo is, if healthy, a really serviceable fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, I was looking at Tony Romo for a backup, and then he ended up going before I could get to him. But, I mean, you can't really go wrong. That was like the, I don't know, like 11th round or something.
I just said Tony Romo went undrafted.
Yeah, Tony Romo.
Okay, I missed it then.
Pay attention. It don't cost nothing.
Maybe it's because he's fat.
Oh, he's talking crap. All right, so who here, though, thinks that they got the best group of wide receivers? No pun intended for you.
I do. I got the best group of wide receivers.
I took Eric Decker and I already said I took OBJ in the 1st, and then
you got John Brown.
I took John Brown like the 7th. I took Eric Decker in the 5th, which might have been a little bit of a reach for him, but at the same time, I was looking at what receiver. I needed another receiver. I was looking who was left on the board, and Eric Decker was, I think, the best. And having Fitz too. I guess that kind of helps.
But go ahead, John.
Rob Gronkowski went.
I want to say something about wide
round.
receivers real quick.
Yeah.
When it comes to wide receivers, I got Brown, and then I have Nelson and Brandon Marshall. That's the name I was looking. Yeah, I got Marshall, Brown, Nelson. Then I think I also got Cooks in there. But it seems like my wide receivers, it looks like I'll be flexing a wide receiver. I'm thinking kind of have no running backs at all. as you said, who's my number one, Sean? My number one running back?
Matt Forte.
Yeah, Matt Forte. Hey, there you go. All right,
Still
but John,
has
you wanted to
talent.
talk about Gronk.
Yeah, he's still pretty good. Like I think he's on the wrong side of 30, and I don't know. There's like kind of a crowded backfield there.
That's the
in
way.
New York.
That's the way I feel with Nelson coming off an injury and being over 30. Like, I mean, I'm not too happy that I got Nelson, but maybe things will pull through and Nelson will turn it on. But that goes against my better judgment.
But like I was saying, Rob Gronkowski went in the second round. Is that too early to
Yes, I
grab
think
someone
so.
like him?
I think so. I don't care. Because if you put him up there, if you look at him, if you're going to use him as a wide receiver, you have to then value. If you're going to value him as a wide receiver, you also have to score him on it. People value him as a wide receiver, but he gets scored as a tight end. If you put him with wide receivers, he's like the 8th, 9th wide receiver. Do you know what I mean? So there's 7 other people at a pass catching position that are better than him. I think everybody always reaches for Gronk.
See, I was listening to the Fantasy Footballers podcast. You know, thank you again to those guys.
Shout out to
buddies
those
over there.
guys.
We
And
had
they're
Mike Wright
saying
on
they
our
might be
show,
coming
of course.
back on too.
So, yeah, stay tuned for that. So, there was an interesting stat between the 5th overall tight end last year and the 1st overall tight end last year. That's just Greg Olsen, number 5, and Rob Gronkowski, number 1. There was really only a 30-point difference between those two scores. So,
Yeah,
break
exactly.
it down over a 16-week, that's about
That's
a
a
2
2
point
points,
a game
yeah.
difference. And the value for Greg Olsen, that 5th, 6th round, and between that and the 1st round grade that Rob Gronkowski will get, I don't see the value in reaching for Gronkowski when you're running back 2 or your wide receiver 2, because you grabbed Gronk so early, is going to
It's
be a
greatly
lot,
diminished,
probably
yeah.
a greater disparity between those 2 points per week. So I don't recommend reaching for Gronk in the 1st round.
What's everybody's running back situation looking like? I grabbed Eddie Lacy, and I think the
So going on a big boy, lady.
third,
Lacy.
yeah, 3rd round. I think I took. 'Cause I didn't, like I said, I didn't take a running back in the 1st. I grabbed Eddie Lacy in the 3rd, I think, and then Jamal Charles in like the 5th.
Oh, you went with
5th or
Jamal
6th.
Charles again, huh?
5th
Like
or
last
6th.
year.
You grabbed Eddie Lacy, 18th overall
Yep.
in the 2nd round. Jamal Charles, 23rd
And
overall
Deion
in the
Lewis.
3rd. Pretty great value, especially for Jamal Charles, who people forget is.
I
yeah,
took him earlier than I thought.
But Sean, you had Jamal Charles last year, and how'd that turn out for you?
No, I did. It turned out terrible because he got hurt in like week 4.
And he had that big fumble game right before it. He had 2 fumble. Didn't he have back-to-back 2 fumble games and then get injured? I know he had a 2 fumble game, or was it? Or maybe it was 1 in 1 week and back-to-back.
I remember Jeremy Hill fumbling the ball a lot. I had him last
And then
year.
I got him from you from nothing, and then he had the 4 touchdown game the week
Yeah,
I
right.
got him. Yo, I trade raped Sean so bad last
Wow.
year.
So, you know what, though? Looking
Wait,
at
what do you-
Sean's
wait,
team,
wait,
he's got 6 running backs. He's got
Who is this now?
Darren Sproles, Tevin Coleman, D'Angelo Williams, Deion Lewis, Jamal Charles, as we just said, and Eddie Lacy. That's a lot of running backs. Do you think...
I think running backs are like. Well, go ahead, John. What were you
I
gonna
was
say?
thinking, do you think D'Angelo Williams is going to come out of the gates like he did last year when he took over for Le'Veon Bell? And do you really see Darren Sproles really doing anything for that Philly offensive attack?
Well, with D'Angelo Williams, I mean, I kind of just took him because he was there, and because Le'Veon Bell is going to be out for 3 games. Okay, that's actually we didn't mention that Le'Veon Bell's suspension is now reduced to 3 games. So I just kind of took him because he was there and because he had a pretty productive season in the absence of Le'Veon Bell. And then with Darren Sproles, I kind of took him because he's still dangerous. Like he can still score, and he'll every once in a while you'll see him break off a big play for 40 yards or something like that. And I didn't take him because I want to start him. I took him because I think he has some value, and I took him pretty late, I'm pretty sure too.
It's a nice value pick for you there. That's the way you see
exactly.
it.
There,
But
wasn't,
see, it is a
there
little.
wasn't too much strategy involved in where I took those guys.
Let's talk about a sudden change in fantasy football. And with me having the number 1 overall pick and going with Antonio Brown, you were talking about running backs and him having a lot. That used to be what everyone thought. You wanted to build your team solely out of running backs. But with Brown being valued at the number 1 overall pick and pretty much Beckham and Julio Jones being the 2s and 3s, is it more important to have a wide receiver corps rather than a running back crew now? What do you think, Colin?
I just gotta think, wide receivers, every year it's deeper. There's 3 starting wide receivers on every team in most instances. So there's 3 people to getting the targets. So if you're on the waiver wire halfway through the year and say your top running back either didn't pan out or get hurt, it is a lot harder to replace the running back value than it is the wide receiver value. So you go and get your top wide receiver, and then I think you got to make sure that you have enough running backs, because chances are if you draft 5 running backs, 2 of those guys are not going to pan out. It just happens like every year. But your wide receivers, especially in a PPR format, which we're our league is.
Yeah. And there's
Everyone's
bonuses,
gonna
big
get
play bonuses
X
as well.
amount of points per week, because as long as they're getting targeted, then they'll minimum out at 6-7 points. Running backs 4s and 5s, they're not going to get 6 to 7 points every week.
Now, what do you guys think about, since being that this is a PPR league, what do you think, who got like the steal on the running back? Who's the best PPR running back that was drafted in our league?
I took Deion Lewis. I like him as my flex. That's where I put him.
That's not bad, especially for a points per session. But
I don't
they're
think you
so
guys are going to like
rotating.
my answer, though, but it's going to have to be DeMarco Murray taken in the, let's see, I think
took
that's
him?
the...
That was what, the
1,
ninth?
2, 3, 4, 5th pick.
Fifth round.
Fifth round pick for Team Bugs.
For Team Bugs. So that's Chris.
Chris, yeah.
All right. So so you see DeMarco Murray really coming out
In Tennessee?
and-
Yeah, most
absolutely. I would
definitely.
agree. What do you think, Colin?
About DeMarco Murray,
Well, just in general, a PPR back.
I don't know if DeMarco Murray's going to be the pass-catching guy. Like, he wasn't playing pass-catching role for the Eagles last year, and obviously Chip Kelly's and Derrick Henry's their other running back, and he's a bigger guy, but he's also talented, with catching the ball in the backfield. I know our friend Tony took Derrick Henry there in like the 9th or 10th round, which is decent value because DeMarco Murray really might not be a 3-down back there in Tennessee. They're going to run the ball a lot, and I think they'll both get a lot of touches, but I don't know about DeMarco Murray catching a lot of passes in the backfield.
Sean, who do you see as the best points per reception running back coming out of the backfield? Get up in the mic when you...
That's a tough one. I'm trying to think of like who are more of the check down type offenses, like who runs that a lot of plays like that.
Well, you said...
Deion Lewis. I said
said
Deion Lewis. I'm not gonna.
What do you see Sproles? Does Sproles have any value in his older age?
I think so, but like I said, I didn't take him necessarily in the format of thinking like, all right, well he'll be a good PPR type value, but he does see a lot of checkdowns, a lot of screens and stuff like that. So those count as fantasy points in a PPR league. So I'll take it. But what do you think?
I was going to say
who is a really high value PPR running back? Because I can't really name one specifically.
Now, Jessica, one of the editors for the site, voiceofbedlam.com, you should check it out religiously. Check it out religiously when the show's over, though, or open up a new window, whatever works. But Colin and Jessica are the editors. Now, Jessica's in the league, and I believe she's the Bitchin' Rude Girls. And now we were talking about Jordan Reed, and everybody liked that as a pick. She also grabbed
That's way too early,
Rashad Jennings. Now, Rashad Jennings in Ben McAdoo's offense, if healthy, let's remember the way he closed the year last year. Now, I will be the first to tell you the Giants were absolute trash on the ground. But in that last month of the season, when that offensive line got consistent, Rashad Jennings went for 4 games with over 100 yards. And he had I believe he had 2 earlier in the season as well, but he had the 4 consecutive at the end of the year. And he's got a nice set of hands on him, and everybody knows Andre Williams, it seems to be emerging as the number 2 finally, but the big joke about him is he has absolutely no hands whatsoever. Ben McAdoo's West Coast style offense, I could see Rashad Jennings panning out pretty well this year, even in his older age, for the Bitchin' Rude Girls.
Hey, speaking of running backs, Carlos Williams got cut.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about that for the second column? What did you hear on Carlos Williams being released by the Bills?
Not making the team. I'm really surprised. He played really well when LaShawn McCoy was missing time last year. I mean, obviously he's got some issues off the field.
Yep.
Give it a week or 2. He'll be on another team.
How long is his suspension for now?
4 games.
4 games? All right.
So I don't think it'll be long before somebody else scoops them up.
Absolutely. I mean, because it's kind of almost I don't want to say it's a benefit when somebody's suspended, but you get to put them on a separate list. You get to put them on the suspension list, which opens up a roster spot on your team. So when that happens, it's kind of like your 53-man roster is a 54-man roster, and that bubble player on the back end, or maybe at whatever position group that is, you really get a longer time to evaluate them and maybe see if you could sneak, if it's a newer player, sneak them back onto the practice squad, or just cut them, or whatever. It really gives you almost like an extra player. If it's an established player, like if someone real notable is suspended, what's one of the more notable suspensions?
Le'Veon Bell.
Bell.
Okay, Le'Veon Bell, exactly. Le'Veon Bell, you know what he's going to do. So now they get to look at the other running backs longer. Do you know what I'm saying? They get that extra player. I see it as a bonus sometimes when you have him. What do you think? Do you agree, Sean?
I mean, if you're getting a chance to look at how much depth you have, like there's definitely
because you know who Le'Veon Bell is.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean.
and you know what you're gonna get out of Le'Veon Bell, like you said. So I mean, if you get a chance to, like I said, see what kind of depth you have, I mean, there's no way that can hurt you.
Absolutely, and this is him coming as a free agent to someone. I'm talking about specifically in this scenario where a player is cut. Yeah, scoop him up, put him on the suspension list. It's like a little bonus player. You can cut him again if you want. You know what I mean?
What teams do you guys think? Like, who's
would
weak at
Williams
running
go
back
to?
right now and could
Yeah.
use a Carlos Williams? As an Eagles fan, I'm already thinking the Eagles. I don't think there's a lot of competition there. I don't think the Eagles are going to scoop him up, especially because they have Kenyon Barner on their practice squad last year, who's played well in the preseason, and they drafted Wendell Smallwood. But what's a likely team
Maybe
you guys
I would
see
like to
Carlos
see him go to the Jets. Maybe. I mean, I know they got Bilal Powell down there and everything, but they don't have CJ anymore. And
Matt Forte is, like Sean has said, reminded you of. He's there in New York Jets, but he is on the wrong side of 30.
yeah,
They also had Chris Ivory, and he's not there anymore.
yeah, I said CJ. I meant Chris Ivory. That's what I said. I meant CJ 2K, but
Yeah. I don't know.
especially with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Maybe Ravens. I know that sounds weird because Justin Forsett
not a bad-
usually
yeah,
gets
it's not
hurt.
a bad call, yeah.
he's injured a lot, and he only really had that one
know.
breakout season.
See, I grabbed him really late though because he was up on the board, and I was like,
What's really late? What number did you get him at?
let's see, I got him in the 10th,
Oh, that's not bad. A running back in the 10th.
and then
Yeah,
I got
that's
Derek Carr after that, which is like
so you got
kinda
Carr
crazy.
in the 11th round.
11th.
Now, too
No
bad
one
you
cares
couldn't
about him, I
steal.
guess.
You should try and. Who's got Amari Cooper? You should see if you can
I
try
do.
and steal. Oh, you did nab Amari Cooper. Oh,
Oh, man.
John's team not looking too shabby.
I think I've done this fantasy football thing a little bit.
Amari Cooper's definitely a good pick. So wait, I asked earlier, like, what is everyone else's running back situation? I don't know if we ever actually.
Oh
answered
yeah.
that.
To finish up mine, I guess I got David Johnson and
I was thinking
Duke
about
Johnson.
taking- Oh, both Johnson.
So I got
Johnson to
Q.
Johnson.
Yeah, right.
Two DJs there.
Can't
Yeah.
go wrong with two Johnsons.
And then I went and grabbed T.J.
I
Yeldon
think you can do a lot
and
of wrong
Justin
picks with
Forsett.
Johnson's.
Oh, double Johnsons. Team DP.
Oh, Jesus.
Who do you have, Colin? I think you took. I know you sniped Mark Ingram from me.
Wow.
Did indeed swipe Mark Ingram.
Second
I got
pick.
LaShawn McCoy there in the 3rd round. Who, I love LaShawn McCoy. That's my dude. That's the leading rusher of my team of all time. Not really a great year last year. Battled a lot of injuries, but he seems to be fully healthy this year. The Buffalo offense is going to really run through him on the ground. That's how Rex Ryan likes to run his offenses. So I think I'm okay there. I've got me some Gio Bernard, who's a really tough situation to figure out what the Bengals are going to do on the ground. Also got me some Bilal Powell, as you mentioned. That Jets running back situation is really up for grabs. Matt Forte is probably not going to be dominating the touches. They'll
Thanks.
split him pretty well.
Thanks.
Wow.
Got him, and then I got Shane Vereen, who with PPR format. I'm always curious to see. I know he
But
catches a lot about.
Andrew has a lot to say about Shane Marine.
Yeah, like I wanted to take Shane Vereen, but like McAdoo, the Giants really just did not use him last year, and it seems like when you look at training camp, he's not the number 2 again this year. So I don't know what's going on with that.
To be honest with you guys, I saw a player undrafted that I was like, oh, he's going to be good. I already am trying to drop Shane Vereen and pick up this guy.
I was hoping
Literally,
you were
the
gonna drop
claim
the
is
name.
already in, and I'm not telling you guys who that player is.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I don't think Shane Vereen's going to be long on my roster.
Now, here's the thing. I think, what is the biggest surprise pick? And I'll start off with mine. Seeing the Carolina Panthers defense going off in the 9th round. Like I love, as you can see, I'm a Panthers fan, but seeing them going that early, usually defenses get picked up towards the 11th, 12th round, and the earliest is that I usually see. So.
And who was it that took the Panthers day?
That was in your face, too legit to quit.
Okay, I believe that's Joe. But right,
Joe.
But, he is a Panthers fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is he's a big Panthers fan. You guys should hang out. We should have Joe
so.
on the show. Joe's actually a coach for one of the college teams around here.
Nice.
We're not going to drop their name, but
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, unless they want to start dropping our name too. But who else? What was your big surprise picks here that you saw?
I drafted Travis Kelce in the 9th round. Now, he had a pretty up and down year last year, but for a couple of years now, he has been a top 5 tight end. I was surprised that he lasted as long as he did. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, it's playing with Alex Smith, but Alex Smith, he is a check down guy, and the tight end tends to flourish there. Andy Reid generally, has a good tight end underneath him. I'd agree with the pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. As far as surprise picks, like you saying, like someone that dropped lower than what you thought he was.
Correct.
A steal.
A steal. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really have any, to be honest with you.
That's why you're going to lose.
Yeah, I got two more.
mean,
over
Believe it or
here.
not, I still can't get into the ESPN fantasy. Oh, I shouldn't even said it because they suck. But I still haven't gotten into the ESPN fantasy app, and I can't even look at my team. I got to keep on glancing at the board over there.
Man, yeah,
I'm totally, screw ESPN. I've talked trash on them for their commentating and how I think they're the Fox News of sports, but their sports apps sucks as well. Just so you know.
Yeah, there was two more
Just throwing
picks
it out
that
there.
are out there that I thought were really big steals. I grabbed Eric Ebron, or Ebron, however you want to.
Ebron out of Newark, New Jersey, North
Yes.
Carolina.
in
North
the last
Carolina
pick.
Tar
And
Heel.
then Pierre Garçon was taken in the 16th.
Oh, in the 16th, I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
Well,
If you
he's,
say
isn't
it's
he
high
the number
value
2? Isn't he number 2 in
Pierre
Washington?
Garçon, I guess he is, but
Yeah, he's number 2 because I still think Deshaun Jackson is the number 1 there.
I
But
just
even
don't trust Eagles wide
Even
receivers.
Deshaun Jackson
Redskins.
is not.
I know, that's what I meant. That's
Sorry.
what I meant.
Deshaun Jackson's not even he didn't have a very good fantasy year last year.
I would just value as a target there Jordan Reed and the bitch and Reed girl got him.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I think Josh Doxson is a player, obviously their first-round draft pick this year for the Redskins. Josh Doxson will be a good dynasty player, or dynasty leagues. Obviously, if your league squad carries over into the next year, I think you might want a Josh Doxson. But for this year, Pierre Garçon is going to be probably receiving the 3rd amount of targets for Kirk Cousins. So there's value there, and that should be a pretty functional offense. I also have never mind. I don't have Matt Jones. Or do I have Matt Jones? Guys, let's find out if I have Matt Jones. I believe I have Matt Jones, who...
Let's see, where's Matt
Do
Jones?
I have Matt Jones? I've got Matt Jones.
Oh, you already
Oh.
we already got people hitting the waiver line. That's how you know that you're upset with
I'm
your
not
draft.
hitting the waiver line.
That's how you
I'm
know.
installing this trash app and reinstalling it onto my phone to see if maybe I can look at my team. That I
Oh,
just
man.
Remove
If you-
assigned
ESPN from
to
our
me,
list
basically.
of potential sponsors.
Well,
Yes, ESPN
watch
is
it
definitely
anyway.
on our crap list.
well, I can pull it up because my wonderful fruit product, which I
Your fruit product.
yep.
I think got nothing to do with
works
my
fine.
awesome phone. But
Oh yeah.
no, it's
I'm
because
right.
ESPN is trash.
I
That's
just
what it is.
mine went right in, and I got to look at my team. But
I like your app, and at ESPN. I'm sorry.
I used to.
I'm a big fan.
Nah, but I got to be honest. It didn't screw me last year, but at my last draft last year, it screwed other people. It's just the first time it screwed me.
now defenses. Who feels confident in their defenses?
I got Houston. I'm not too high on them, but I mean they were the best defense left on the board when I took them. And I took them in the 15th round. So
it didn't make sense to me last year with Houston because they have so much talent, but in fantasy it's just not there. And I mean they did win the division and make the playoffs last year, but they were an up and down team. And with the names and money in that defensive side of the ball, they really underperformed last year.
Yeah, you went with Cincinnati for your defense there, Andrew.
Cincinnati?
Why the pick?
Oh, because that's what ESPN auto drafted me.
Oh my goodness! All right, yeah, because I went with Arizona's defense. I think that they're going to be able to, keep things going over there, especially in that secondary. The secondary is still pretty strong, so I felt confident. That was my second pick behind the Panthers.
All right, now at the end of the first quarter, just to jump in here, we got Giants and Bills scoreless. Now,
not surprised.
What do you guys think about these two New York teams? I mean, this is a fantasy special, but there's preseason going on. Now, what do you guys think? Now, Williams has been cut. I don't really mean on the matchup, but let's just look at these teams. Buffalo seems to be drowning. I mean, everybody is injured. People are suspended. Now they're cut. Is Buffalo? I really liked Buffalo, and now I'm totally off Buffalo. I don't want to touch Buffalo with a 10-foot pole. Has anybody else's opinion changed as much since the beginning of the
once
offseason?
the season comes in, they're going to be a sleeper. I think people are going to sleep on them now.
I thought that, but
and then they're going to come
anymore.
back. They're going to turn it on. It's just going to take some time for the Ryans to do their magic.
I kind of disagree. I think if there's any team in the AFC East that might make a run at that division, it's the Jets.
Oh, yes, I agree, especially now that Fitzpatrick is signed. I don't see Miami or Buffalo.
One player's going to make that team? Like, what? Like, they're
it's not one player.
aged receivers.
Look at what Todd Bowles did last year with that team. I don't remember what they were the year before.
Their defense was dope.
They were 11-5 last year. Like, that's
absolutely.
They had a darn near AARP running back, and not only that, the wide receivers are just, they're already testing father time status. Like Eric Decker, when the heck was he relevant?
Oh, come on. Eric Decker had 1,000 yards last year.
Oh.
Yeah, he had like 11 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, if you're the only wide receiver on there.
But what about Brandon Marshall?
Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, okay, yeah, watch.
He had over 1,000 years also.
He's gonna drop off completely this year.
Well, the Jets are currently losing to Washington 18-22, playing out there in they don't actually play in DC. But
how do you get 22 points or 18 points?
Because it's preseason. That's how. Because preseason, safeties happen. Like it's sometimes they'll take a knee.
So they have 9 safeties.
Yeah, you know what I mean. 9 safeties. But really, all right. So let's see. You got probably, or somebody went for 2-point conversions and stuff like that.
6 field goals.
Preseason, preseason's ridiculous.
I was gonna have a bet, like a friendly bet, like to say, but it's already been decided, so we can't even do the friendly bet anymore. I was gonna say a beer for the person who guesses the first person to hit the waiver line.
It's already been Colin.
I know. I was like, dang,
literally
man.
As soon as we were done.
Like it
literally
wrapped, and he went on. And he was like, yeah, there's too many good names on here. I gotta go.
How does the waiver wire determine itself before anything happens?
I know. Did one stat of anyone's change?
No.
That's why I can't tell you guys who I'm claiming, because I don't know who's gonna steal it from me. It's my little secret.
I think I'll be all right for a while.
My little secret.
Don't you tell my dirty little secrets. But you guys should definitely come out to Mother's. I mean, we're going to be heading out to go hang out with Mike Blanks, who was on last week's show at the Blank 77 show, the punk rock block party in Allentown. But if you guys get down here now, still come chill at Mother's. We got great food, great beer. Let me tell you what I said about the women. women presented itself as true 30 seconds after we were here. We'll have to save that story for Pogo City Radio.
Yeah, that's a
But
Pogo City one.
There is
yeah.
a reason why I said what I said about.
Yes, indeed.
Totally true. He's not making it up.
But mothers, like I'm saying, I mean, they do got some great food. All of us been eating wings
Absolutely.
all day, mozzarella sticks, cheese fries. Colin had that BLT. That thing looked delicious.
they'll
that
take real
bacon,
good
my
care
man.
of you.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know,
my
I know
food's staring
Justin's
at me
been
right now.
drinking the Apple Reds over there. Justin, how you liking that Apple Reds, my man?
He didn't know it was an ale. He thought it was a cider.
Oh well.
Even
They
though
got
it
really
says
good
Reds,
burgers down here, too.
Reds
They got a burger
ale.
that comes with like an egg on it. It's really
So
good.
it's funny. But what? So going into the season, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you of your draft, and how? What grade would you give your likeliness to win?
All right, look, I am honestly the worst grade I'm going to give myself, and you guys can kiss it, B-. My wide receiver course, and I didn't even draft the team, just looking at my team slightly optimistically, I mean, if I could really plan this out, I got to make some moves. I need to gain some running backs, but I have plenty of trade ammo, and I have some top-tier wide receivers. If I coach it up right, I could see me making noise.
I can see that. How about you, Johnson's?
I'm pretty satisfied with the way my team shook out.
Letter grade.
My
Letter grades here.
letter grade, I give
Or no
myself a
scale.
B+. I think a lot of my team's going to rely solely on the bounce back of Andrew Luck.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I'll go with like a B+ also. I like the way my team actually came together. For the first time, I didn't take like a defense too high. I didn't take a backup quarterback too high, and the only spot I think I might have a little bit of trouble is my depth at wide receiver, because I got Odell and then I got Decker, and then it kind of drops off after that. I think my best receiver after that is either Kamar Aiken or Jonathan Brown. So
See, now while we're talking about fantasy football, now I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious, especially when it comes
That's what she said.
to football. There you go, Michael Scott, The Office. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. But when it comes to football, now I think because you drafted Odell Beckham in the first round, that he will get 3 touchdowns on the Eagles the first time they play him. Let's make a little friendly, stupid bet, not a money bet. Let's just.
what week is that?
I don't even know
If he does that, I think you should wear the Giants gear.
I mean,
on the
I'm
show.
really taking the risk.
For the week.
I'm giving the points on this.
So
But-
the first Eagles Giants matchup.
Odell Beckham, 3
scores
touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
And yeah, I get a real good honorable mention if he gets 2.
I'll take the 3. I'll take the 3. So I'll take that bet.
All right. All right.
right.
Well, hey, it's on record now.
Well, let's talk about. We'll have to decide with these, not money terms, of course. We'll have to decide what this bet is, and we got to talk about
Like
our
I said, make
Sacco.
him wear a Giants gear on the show.
Oh God! No, I
What's
wouldn't
more
do that. No, I'm
blasphemous?
way too superstitious. You will not. When my wife used to work at a sports memorabilia store,
Okay.
she used to get discounts. You know what I mean? So we got some great stuff at the house. You know what I mean? But for other family members, not my family members, not on my
Yeah.
side of the family, but for other family members, she got them some Eagles crap, and like I flipped. I was like, you cannot be spending our money on Eagles gear. I was like, because you did that, the Giants aren't going to beat the Eagles at all this year. I will not. I don't want to touch your damn Eagles lighter. It's all.
I think he's just
Eagles
a
are
little
beating
bit more
the
than.
Giants for years.
Oh, they have though. Yes, Eli Manning's record against the Eagles is terrible.
Oh my goodness. But letter grade for my draft, I feel like I did like an A, just an A, just because. I know,
You did
because
get a nice squad though. You did. I'll give you it.
I feel like David Johnson, Mari Cooper, Cam Newton, Kelvin Benjamin, Olsen, Michael Floyd, Duke Johnson. Come on, man. Those. I feel confident in that. They're young enough, and the only questionable thing would be Kelvin Benjamin coming back from that ACL. Is he going to be that number 1? But just to make sure, I made sure I grabbed Devin Funchess.
Okay, all right. I mean, I did like your
Week
team.
7
you
is
get
gonna be a
little
hard week for me.
fanboy, though, at the same time.
No, because like I said, not my bathroom, not my problem.
No, but does anybody else agree with me? I was talking about this. Now, Sarah, which is, John's significant other.
Yep.
Sarah, now, this girl knows her sports. I don't know how guys, she's here today. You guys will see, I know you've seen her, but I don't know how much football you've talked. She knows her sports, and she knows her hockey even well. Now, she's going to be jumping on board with the site, and she's going to really take over some NHL writing. But I was talking to her, and we both think you get a little wrapped up in free agent, big names. You're a names guy. You get wrapped up in names too easily.
Names? Well, the people that perform, yes, I make a note of their name. if they're making moves and they consistently put up numbers, then yeah, I'll tally your name down in my book.
But honestly, you guys, what do you think? I'm not just talking. When we talk football, I think you're a names guy. I think you're a names guy, and you're a little too partial. I think I like Carr, but I think you think Carr is the next coming of Jesus, and I think that's a bit much.
For the most part,
I kind of like Carr a lot. That was a bad example.
I also
that kind of is a point for you.
Well, I did buy. I'm buying in completely into my Panthers Raiders Super Bowl. So what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, I don't believe that in the slightest.
There's a lot of risk involved when it comes to fantasy, like betting on your own team.
I'm going with that. Like I could have took Odell Beckham, and I mean I wouldn't be a complete moron if I did it. If I had the number 2 overall pick, I probably would have taken Odell Beckham. But
I took one Eagle. I took Darren Sproles. Like that. But that's all I'm really saying.
I did
want
to target Eli.
Don't let your fanhood get in the way of your drafting strategy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never let that. But if one of my favorite players from a team that I support is on the board, and I know how they're going to perform because I've watched those games in and out. Why wouldn't
that
you
is
go
true.
for teams
you have a bit,
that you know the most?
I fall into this every week when I do my
Just
fantasy.
don't go crazy.
When I do my daily fantasy, I play on a couple tickets. You know what I mean? I'll get in. Maybe I'll jump in one of the big games, but I kind of just like to throw a bunch of $2 entries into like the $500 game. Like with really bad odds, but I have more fun with it that way. Do you know what I mean? And one of the teams, I'll be like, I'm going to take a lot of Giants. Like I always do that because I'm like, it's $2. Who knows? I'm just betting with my heart. But I have a legitimate team as well. Do you know what I mean? But I do like to have. It is fantasy. Fantasy is it's for fans. You know what I mean? Fantasy is for fans. It's supposed to be fun. So I don't blame you when it comes to fantasy. I'm wanting to take some of your own people. You look like you got something to say, Colin.
I was to say, that's actually a pretty good strategy for daily fantasy. Because if you choose your own team and then your team goes out there and dominates, chances are, if you're going Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, and Rashad Jennings,
something like that.
It's actually a pretty great value. Jennings is not going to be expensive.
The only pricey player there is Odell.
Exactly. See, if you know your team's going to go out there and dominate, go for him.
Speaking of, you know what? I think 2 people at this table owe us beers for making their teams look beautiful over here with stickers. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's talking about us, Sean.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, even though we kept yelling down, come over, grab your stickers.
Hey, I was setting up other stuff. I had to go get
Sean was drinking a beer.
Righty and lefty sticking to your leg.
Is on Sean.
That's what you were adjusting.
I just kind of
righty and lefty.
I walked back
Sean
and
didn't do
forth.
squat.
I walked back and forth. I looked at the board. I drank some beer. I ate some wings, but I didn't really do much else than that. I'll buy you guys a beer.
Let's get around.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, we'll get around.
It's either that or a shot. What are you thinking?
What we got?
Shot or a beer? What do you
I'm
think?
just going for a beer.
A beer will do.
A beer will do.
4 beers.
Get us 4 beers and tell them to put it on my tab.
It's on Sean.
Justin doesn't work here, guys.
Justin the roadie.
Yeah,
Justin. Hey, Justin, it could be 5 beers. Grab yourself one.
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah, instead, why don't we do that? We'll get a couple pitchers
Pitchers?
All
Yeah.
right.
and some cups.
Let's get a picture.
A pitcher.
All right.
Yeah, because
For mothers. Just tell them we need a picture.
Yeah, man.
For real though.
And tell them to put it on my tab.
I don't care. Just get us beer.
A beer. I need beer.
Have Blue Ribbon.
I
the
know.
luckiest
I need
things.
some.
But we'll probably be wrapping up in a minute.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to close up with before we head out? And make sure you guys go out and check the interview with Mike Blanks of Blank 77
Yes.
and Mike Blanks and the Stabs on last
Now-
episode. Now we got service. There's the wings. We ended up starting to get forgotten over here, it feels like.
My barbecue.
My barbecue sauce. But yeah, good time. Nice little turnout down here. Plenty of beer going around. But I don't know. What do you guys want to close up with? What do you guys got about your teams? Why don't we
Lick
look?
my
let's-
you know what, and I hope your teams all get injured.
Okay, all right. That's good parting words from Mr. Collins. Sean, what are you thinking of?
I'm winning this thing. I'm winning it. There's a reason this trophy is already sitting in front of me because I should just take it with me now. Actually,
See now,
Sean's never made the playoffs in fantasy football.
till now.
oh jeez.
Shut up, Colin.
He's talking- he got dimed out by his brother. All right, but now look, I'm going to be honest. Now I looked at my team and I was pissed, and I am mad at ESPN and screw ESPN. But I'm going to take this. I'm going to accept this challenge, and I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to kick ass and take names. You will see me in that championship. You will see me claim the first official Bedlam's Fantasy Trophy
Whoa.
by DraftKit.com. I'm coming for it. I'm still talking trash, and I'm still going to kick some ass.
Pardon the story,
Your
Miss
team
Lippy.
sucks.
I clearly made a statement a couple weeks ago, and
John's
this was
enjoying the barbecue wings. As
this
we
was
speak.
heck yeah, man. Mother's Bar and Grill, man. It's some banging wings. Get down here and eat some. But I made a bold statement a couple weeks ago, and I said something about this trophy's mine. And I'm sorry
That's
that
a
you
bold
guys.
statement. I'm going to win.
Yep, I'm sorry that you guys, get to look at it now, but I'll let you guys each get just like supervision in a bad relationship. I'll give you guys visitation, okay, to the trophy.
There you go. Now, I don't know. I'm really in a mood. Got a little free plug here to go home and after the show. I think I might have to watch the league.
I know,
What do you guys think about the
Who
league?
is this league's taco?
Who is this? Ooh, who is this league's taco?
Yeah, who is it?
Who is Sean?
No, it's not me. This league's not old enough to have a taco yet, but there will be one.
There you go. And one will emerge. One will emerge. All right.
Probably sooner rather than later, too.
But
Which one of you guys is putting the name of your next kid on the line?
jeez. Well, I was
Should
telling
look for
my
Batman
wife
needs a
today.
friend.
I was telling my wife today if we
I'll
were to
do it.
have another baby.
'Cause I'm not.
See now, we've
having
been
a name,
naming.
so.
Yeah,
Automatically.
See, my wife, we named our kids, a little bit after the Ramones. Like we got Sheena, you know what I mean? And we were saying if we had a boy, we wanted to think of two first names with D's because we were going to go with a D-Day. And if we were to have another girl, we were going to name it Ramona. We're really pushing this Ramones thing on our children.
When you said DD, it just reminded us in
do
middle
too.
school.
I was trying to get her, not that she's pregnant, but I was trying to get her. I'm trying to go with Odell. Do you guys think about an Odell Santoro? How's that sound, Odell Santoro?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
All right. Okay. Really, does it? Does it, my man? Does it? I think it's time we got out of here and wrap things up with Bedlam's first official fantasy draft brought to you by DraftKit. I see glasses. I see no pitchers.
I know, right? He's coming with the beer, so we got to stay on.
Well,
We gotta stay on to drink beer,
right?
all right?
You're not supposed to cheers in an empty glass.
Exactly.
There
No.
you go.
Yeah, we gotta
Oh,
drink
little
this beer.
suspicious. You guys are
Hold
losing
on.
the league. You guys are losing the league because you cheers with empty glasses.
But we didn't clink glasses, so it doesn't count.
All right. But yeah, like I said, make sure you guys come to a Mother's Bar and Grill frequently and often. Get out to Allentown. Blanks will be going on in about an hour and a half. Go check out their set. $8 at the door. Free beer, though. Free beer.
We are going to jump on
Just
that,
like
I
this
think.
here, this is a free beer for me. Big thanks to Justin, playing
Free beer.
bartender.
Don't worry, you'll be paying for the beers for me and Colin soon too, because
Thank you, Sean.
Last
Thank you, Sean.
buys
Indeed.
the beer. All right, guys. Well, once this beer's out of here, we'll
shout out to DraftKits.com, man, who made it, made this stickering and this whole thing just more
trophy.
functional. The
Absolutely. Much
trophy
easier.
and make your life easier and make it look professional.
I'm tired of waiting. Cheers to the Bedlam League. Don't get beer on the board. To the Bedlam League.
To 60 episodes of Voice of Bedlam, guys.
Absolutely. All right, guys. For Colin, Sean, Devil John, I'm Andrew Bedlam, and we're getting the hell out of here.
Peace.